Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and so here's the scoop. Here's the lowdown. I completed the game last time. Everything is checked off. And afterwards, I was back in Steam and I still didn't have all the achievements, and I was thinking, that's weird. Didn't register the achievement for finishing the last level. And then I actually went and watched some video of a prior game by this developer, QROSTAR. I played a game called CounterHero, and it had some crazy stuff. And I was thinking it was funny that it asked at the end, like, if I enjoyed the game, if I was satisfied or whatever. And the other choice was, like, not enough or whatever. And I was thinking, it seems like this is Japanese developers or whatever, and like maybe slightly bad translation. But I came back into the game, and I tried going through that Q&A again, and I said, it's not enough. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, it's not enough. And they're like, but you enjoyed the game. And I'm like, yes, I enjoyed the game. And they're like, but do you feel satisfied? And I was like, no, it's not enough. And if you did that like 5 times or something, then it gave you access to more levels. So there's more to this game. So let's take a look. Is there going to be a new mechanic? Doesn't look like it right now. There's a lot more pieces than usual, which is a little bit troubling because a lot of the previous puzzles' solvability was aided by the fact that the solution space was relatively small. So that worries me slightly. I'm just going to choose not to think too hard about it right here at the outset and do some stuff that looks vaguely promising and kind of see where it goes. It's not going anywhere good right now because this guy is not going to be in the right spot. But let's go ahead and just push this in anyway and just kind of see where would this have to have gone and where would this have to have gone that red would actually be able to connect over here at the end. It seems like no matter how I placed all of these, there would always be something sticking up that's going to be in the way. Right? Because imagine this one somehow moved down here. It's still too many blocks. So that implies, okay, got it, that, oops, somehow like this block needs to go on the left-hand side of red. Except doesn't seem like that's possible. Is it possible for this block to go on the left-hand side of red? That's the only other possibility that's immediately apparent, and I don't think that's doable either. Is there a way... There isn't a way to do any lifting, so far as I can tell, like other than, you know, like this can raise this up a half a block. But that doesn't help me. Oh, maybe... what am I thinking? So again, there's too many blocks to fit down here and get red across, implying red needs to go across before all of these blocks have gone across. This is like the obvious candidate for a block that might be able to get to the left of red. But the problem is there's this yellow here in the way that's going to kind of prevent that from happening. And so... I'm trying to think what other clever ideas I might have along those lines. How can I get this guy left of red? He's currently at this height. He can't go any higher. Which means this guy needs to go lower first. So is that possible? That is to say, can I keep this green stuff at this height while this yellow falls off a cliff, basically? The answer is unclear to me. Suppose I do this. I don't think so. There's no way to put anything else up here to like cap this off. Okay, kind of going with what I just said. Suppose we do this. Yellow is still nice and high. And now you can move to the right, and you can move to the right, and you can move to the right. And now this yellow can drop down. And I think that does what I need. Because now I think I could bring these guys over here. It at least proves that I could get yellow on the other side of red. Now, unfortunately, I haven't compactly put all these pieces together. So red still can't get over there. But, you know, back when I'm here, these three pieces in theory could have been here, here, and here, and then red would be able to walk across. And then yellow would just have to go somewhere in at the rest. Okay, so I've kind of somewhat proven in theory what might be possible. So now let's try to do something a little bit different in practice. Now that I kind of know what I'm going for. So from here, oops, not that. This could eventually move to the left. Which I think is that what I want to do? I think so. So I think maybe I can move this here now. And then if I did this, this is losing height. It's already lost too much height. I need the green to get in here too. So I guess I want to move this over. And then this over, maybe? This could still move back. That's not really the shape that I wanted. Kind of unhappy about that. Yeah, it's not going to quite do it for me. Okay, I need to leave room for this big ugly green piece to get in here somehow. Oh, which I could have done here if green moved into the right first. So suppose this goes here, it can drop. This can go here and drop. I think this is, oops, what I needed. Then this can go marching back. Oops. Like so. That is acceptable. Yes, I think I've done it. Oh, except red is going to push this to the right, which is not what I want. So this guy instead will go to the left. There we go. And so now red is on the right side of yellow, which is good. Oh, no. There we go. You go across and then you get there. Great. I did it. Okay. That took a bit of time, but worked out fine. We've got a question mark. I appreciate that. We have a half step. I think I appreciate that. So we're going to be doing some climbing. And I mean, just kind of like the obvious-ish things at the start are we need a green guy to hop on top of another green guy. So how do we do that? It seems like we need a staircase of sorts. Let's not think too hard about it and just kind of do obvious-ish things. Suppose I did this. Great. This is probably already problematic. Yeah, it definitely seems problematic. One guy would have to be in here so that then this could be pressed over here without falling in. So that inhibits my staircase making. Is there a way to have this guy in here and still be able to stack the greens? I mean, probably. Do I know how? No. But there probably is a way. I need the greens to be too tall, so just stacking them together like this is insufficient. Yeah, it feels like I need another guy to stand on. So putting this guy down here already seems like a problem, but it feels like I needed to. Oh, maybe I could put the big one down there and have the other two be a staircase to get over it. That seems pretty plausible. Suppose I back these guys up. Back these guys up as a staircase to be. So that is to say, bring this back over here. I need to bring it back even further. Also, this won't work. Or will it work? If the other orange was here... Yeah, then the greens could just climb over. So is there a way to get the other orange here? Unfortunately, no. Maybe. Suppose I do this. Ha 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 ha. Then you can walk all the way back here, and that gives orange space to go over here, and then realize that someone needs to push him. This guy can't push him. If this guy pushes him, can he get back to where he needs to go? I'm not sure. Yes, because this guy can just climb over him. Great! Okay, I think I did the thing. And I'm happy about my reasoning for doing the thing. Like, I put together a plan and visualized outcomes and synthesized movement schedules and did other stuff. All right, what do we got next? We've got a grid. Got a half thingy over here. We've got a quarter thingy here. It's like half thingies all around. Okay. Steppy bits. And so basically there is a moment when all the reds come down. And then after said moment, they will then have to traverse a 3-wide hole and a 2-wide hole to eventually meet up with their little friend down here. So... how would they do that? Well, one way to do that would involve making some staircases so that they could do some climbing around, because climbing is fun. So I guess you can get half tiled, and then having done so, presumably you can do some exciting staircase shenanigans, one imagines. I'm not exactly sure how. Also, I just undid your half-step shenanigans. Also, none of this is doing anything particularly useful to me, so far as I can tell. Yuck. So if I want to climb, I want kind of like a staircase that's the opposite direction as this staircase. Try to climb to the left. And I don't see how to get that right now. These guys are currently like up a half tile. Can I do something crazy-ish? That's not going to help me. There's at least some vague possibility that something in this vicinity could help me. I still think that's not quite right, though. Is there any chance? Oh, this is going to get stuck in here pretty easily. Is there any way for this to jump on top of this? Because this one's on a half tile, and so that's not what I wanted to do. How about this? There we go. And then this. That's at least the staircase part that I wanted. It doesn't fit in here. I just realized you can only fit 2 tall segments at a time. How did I do that? I did that like this. That's a spicy meatball. So how do I imagine... So when I just did this, so you were on a half tile, I could get you pretty close to this guy and he could jump on top. And so that gave us some tallness ability, which seems useful. And then with said tallness ability, is there a way that I can do things and stuff that give me my staircase bits? Not that I see. Suppose I half-tiled it, did you? You could jump all the way to here. And you could jump on this guy like this, and we can make 2 of these shapes. They come together like that. That's not very good. What if they come together like this? That's also not very good. Is there some way to make them come together? I don't think in this space they can end up being like a half tile apart. So let's just bring these guys in here really quick and just get a sense of how this plays out. Okay, for one, they can't be tall enough that they would hit the ceiling, because then they're never getting out. So that's one thing I just discovered. So let's do it the other way. Zing, zang, zoom, zizzle. Oh, okay. So that was interesting. I noticed while he was out here, if he had been another tile longer, he would have been just able to jump across. So actually a 3 across, but a 3 across can't fit inside here if he is half tiled. But if he was 2 across and kind of Z-shaped, right? Currently he's S-shaped, but if instead he were Z-shaped, then, and the right side of the Z were on a half tile, then this could be shifted over slightly to the left, and it wouldn't matter because we'd still end up falling in this hole. And so you could be 3 wide, but you wouldn't be on a half tile. I see. So I want someone who's 3 wide, but then has some thing that sticks out on a half tile so that I can readjust his half tile, whole tile-ness somehow, I think. Except that's impossible because he can only be at most 3 wide. Okay, so just kind of knowing that, suppose I just make a 3 wide and don't think too hard about it. It fits in here. Let's, first of all, just witness the fact that if I do this, I am unable to fall down because this gets caught. So rather than do that, we will keep you aligned to the grid. And then just witness what happens here. So you try to jump and you exactly fell. If you had been on a half tile, you wouldn't have fallen. However, in order to realign the sky so that he's misaligned with the grid, after having just fallen here, it implies somehow there's part of this whole structure that's jutting out a half tile and is able to like catch on something. If this were a T shape with a half tile down here, then when I jumped across here, he would fall down and then could like half tile adjust. But then one of his pieces would be down here and never be able to jump back up. Let's maybe just play around with that idea anyway. So the idea I am trying to imagine is something that's hard to express with this set of blocks. Is there any way I can do this? Yes. I think. So I think if this guy then comes down here, like that. Yeah, this is at least what I was going for. So this is kind of like an upside down T kind of thing. And so now if there were some way for this to hit something, it might be able to misalign the sky so he's no longer on the grid. And then if he were half tile over here and he jumped over here, he would catch the floor over here. And then he would be able to just hop his way to victory, except for victory, he would be stuck up here. So this is actually useful, me thinking this far forward, because it shows that I would need to have a block jutting down to be able to catch this guy. So, Downey McJutterton. It's almost like I want two separate entities. Oh, maybe like two separate S staircases or something? Well, again, I don't know how to make the S staircase. I can only make the Z staircase, or I can make this one, and this is not what I want. Right? Let's just forget about the other guys really quick. If I bring this guy out, he can't climb this way. He can climb this way, but he can't climb the other way. So I want it zagging rather than zigging. And I don't see a way to zag. The only zaggerific something or another that I saw earlier involved something like this. And so there was a zag on top, but it was part of a whole structure, and the structure doesn't even fit in here. So what can I possibly do? Here's one other random idea. Suppose I stick in a 2 guy. I misalign this guy somehow. He doesn't fit in here. Let's misalign him the other way. This will jump through here. Oh, these connected. I was trying to get a set of blocks that would not be connected. Can I do that? I think there might be a way to do that. I changed my mind. I don't think there's a way to do that. Yeah, rats. This isn't going to help me, right? Yeah. It's a fun shape, though. It reminds me of like a little elephant or something. I still want to play around with, with an idea along those lines of 2 mostly vertical shaped things that can stay apart from one another whilst they are riding. So if I reverse this and have you jump on top of this guy, now we're at the opposite parity, I think? Yeah. Okay. So Is there a way that I can be clever now? That would just make the elephant again. This makes whatever shape this is. This is incapable of climbing on its own. Nor can it climb back up. So I don't think that helped me at all. Blue can't move to the left. But I'm imagining somehow having pieces in here that I glue together at a later moment in time that somehow help. But I'm not sure how. What if something like this? This is interesting. It does have the property that now I can misalign it on the grid after I'm down here. However, it also has the property of just being stuck immediately, which is not a very good property to have. But something I hadn't really played much around with was combining these two up top and then gluing them into the whole shape near kind of later on. Is there any way to like get it another half tile up? Is there a way for me to create a 2.5 tall structure doing this? Here's a 3 tall structure. Oh, 2.5 tall structure would not fit in here. This is too high, so it can only be at most that high. Basically, I'm at that stage of the game where I don't have a plan. I can't visualize what I'm trying to do other than make this shaped staircase that I don't see how to make. And so I'm just trying stuff, throwing stuff at the wall and see what sticks. All of a sudden I visualize something, which is, what if this guy were like the other wheel over here on this crazy car looking thing? Oh, then it would be too wide to fit inside. It just occurred to me. This can be at most 3 wide. And the thing I'm visualizing would be 1, 2, and that would be 3 wide. But then that wouldn't help me, because 3 wide... Yeah, again, it would have to be 3 wide, but like somehow be misaligned in a half step. How do I do that bit? Ooh, I just created a shape over here. This is no good. But what if this were now actually aligned? Can I get this aligned again? In any case, I know what I'm imagining now. Basically, suppose I have this in here, and this is aligned on the grid. And so now if he jumps up here, now this is the type of stair-steppy thing that I need. Because this enables this guy to climb. Oh, but then he gets stuck here. Oh. So I was able to climb this one. So that's a new type of progress. But then he got stuck. Also, he wouldn't have been able to reach down over this at the end. So looking at this shape could also be informative in terms of what my end goal ought to be. So I would need a block here. I would need probably a block here. Something that can... It almost feels like I need 2 separate bits that get merged together later, almost. Is that true? Like, I mean, it can't be. So if I have a block here, and let's suppose I just had another block directly above it. I've got 4 blocks. 3, 4. That wouldn't work. So 1, if 2 was a half block to the right above it, 3 was to the right of that. I mean, if it were the same height foot, it would be 3 wide and couldn't walk across this gap. And if it's a different height foot, it's very hard for me to picture anything that could work over here. And there's no way... Yeah, this guy is capable of climbing up a block to the left, but then he just gets stuck. Is there some way that I could change this to where he wouldn't get stuck at least? Even if I'm not solving the puzzle yet. If it's a single shape, one of the blocks is going to have to go here in order to touch. The next block, like one of the blocks is going to have to go somewhere above it. Either here or slightly to the left or slightly to the right. And then again, if it's ever going to climb and traverse, like it seems like it needs to... It's just not possible. There is no shape that does the thing. Or so I'm led to believe. And we can't, like, only send part of the blocks down and have the rest come later, because this totally closes us off. I think I might be stuck. So if I manage to make this structure but upside down of this, when I jumped here, even upside down, it still ends up falling in this hole and can't get back out. This way it can at least kind of like adjust to be misaligned with the grid here at the bottom. But yeah, it would have to misalign itself in here, which is impossible. But then if it were misaligned in here, and it were upside down, it would be able to jump over this. And then when it got here, it would be able to jump up this, and then I think it would be able to do that. And so, except for like 2 impossibilities, it would totally work. Yeah, I think I'm out of ideas on this one, so I'm gonna have to just leave this one be and come back to it another day. We managed to get 2 of the very hard levels done. Are there gonna be 5-1? Interesting. Not sure how many levels there are going to be here. But yeah, I hope as always that you all are having a great day. And I guess I'll see you again soon for more of this game. For now, bye-bye.